Naima proceeded to the chalet. She knocked and called out, "Farukan, are you in there?" She opened the door. She couldn't believe her eyes. She saw Farukan in a questionable position with a maiden. Farukan was on the rug with barely any clothes on, entangled with another woman. "Farukan, how could you betray me?" cried Naima. Within the hilly region of North Africa, there lived a young warrior named Farukan. He hailed from the village of Sarania, a place renowned for its brave warriors and wise elders. Farukan was not like any other warrior. He was gifted with extraordinary strength by the spirits of his ancestors, a strength that rendered him invincible. The village thrived under Farukan's protection. He could lift the heaviest boulders, uproot the tallest trees, and single-handedly defend his people from marauding animals and hostile tribes. His strength was a source of immense pride for Sarania, and stories of his might spread far and wide. One day, during the grand festival of the harvest, Farukan's eyes fell upon a beautiful maiden named Naima. She was from the neighboring village of Kijiji, known for its skilled artisans and enchanting dancers. Naima's father had been a very wealthy man who, upon his death, left a vast wealth to his only child and daughter Naima. However, Naima was too young to manage such wealth, so her uncle, the chief, took control of it until she married. Seeing the spark between Farukan and Naima, the chief became wary. If Naima married Farukan, the warrior's strength and her wealth would make them an unstoppable force. The chief feared that Farukan's influence would go too strong, both physically and financially, overshadowing his own power. Determined to win Naima's hand, Farukan approached the chief to seek her hand in marriage. "Great chief," Farukan began, "I love Naima deeply and I wish to marry her. I promise to protect and cherish her always." The chief looked at Farukan with narrowed eyes. "Naima is my cherished niece. I cannot allow her to marry just anyone. Many suitors have come to ask for Naima's hand in marriage, and I have found them unworthy. To prove your worthiness, you must complete 3 challenges. I will challenge your body, mind, and spirit. Only then will you be deemed worthy of Naima." Farukan accepted the challenges with a resolute heart. The chief announced the first task in the village square, his voice booming with authority. "Farukan, to prove your physical strength, you must defeat the fiercest lion in the savannah. This beast has terrorized our lands for years. Only then have you completed the first challenge." Naima's eyes met with Farukan's, a silent plea for his safety reflected in them. With courage in his heart, Farukan set out to find the lion. Deep in the savannah, the encounter took place. The lion roared, shaking the ground beneath them. Farukan stood firm, his muscles tense, ready for a battle. The lion looked Farukan fiercely as if to say, "You dare challenge me, human? You will regret this." Farukan stared right back, his eyes saying, "It is you who will regret terrorizing the innocent." With a mighty roar, Farukan leaped at the lion. The struggle was fierce, but with his extraordinary strength, Farukan overpowered the lion and carried its lifeless body back to Sarania. The villagers watched in awe as he laid the lion at the chief's feet. The chief, impressed but determined to break Farukhan, announced the second challenge. Farukhan, the chief called, your next task is to fetch water from the sacred spring atop Mount Zuri. No one has ever returned from its peak. Do you accept this challenge? Farukhan nodded, his resolve unshaken. I accept. No mountain will keep me from Naima. As he prepared to leave, Naima approached him, her voice trembling with concern. Farukhan, Mount Zuri is dangerous. Please take care. I will, Naima. Your love gives me strength, Farukhan replied. The climb was arduous, the path treacherous, but Farukhan's determination was unyielding. He reached the sacred spring, filled his gourd, and began his descent. As he descended, the fierce wind tore at his skin, and screams of terror rang in his head. He could hear voices of doubt saying, who do you think you are? You will never survive this journey. You are already injured. Wicked cackling followed, but Farukhan kept going. Though battered and bruised, he returned to Sarania with the sacred water. At Farukhan's return, everyone gasped. Many had given up hope of his return. Even the chief was surprised, not only to see him alive, but to see him bring the sacred water. The chief, his frustration mounting, announced the final challenge. For your final task, you must weave a basket from the rays of the sun. Only then will you have proven yourself worthy. Farukhan was perplexed. He sought the counsel of the village elder, a wise old man named Bwana. Elder Bwana, how can I weave a basket from the rays of the sun? Farukhan asked. This task seems impossible. Strength alone cannot solve all the problems, Farukhan. You must use your mind and heart. Observe the world around you, Elder Bwana replied. Sitting by the river, Farukhan pondered the elder's words. As the sun began to set, he noticed how the water reflected its golden rays. Inspired, he gathered reeds and dipped them into the shimmering water, creating a basket that glowed with the light of the setting sun. The final challenge is complete, Farukhan declared. The whole village erupted with joy. Naima and Farukhan were happy that they had been victorious and they would soon be husband and wife. The chief, however, wasn't excited. In fact, he was furious. How was Farukhan able to beat me at my own game, he thought. Farukhan and Naima must not get married. I need to find a way to keep them apart. I can't allow her have all her father's wealth. Never. Unwilling to accept defeat, the chief sought the help of a witch doctor. In a secluded hut on the outskirts of Kijiji, a witch doctor revealed a long-guarded prophecy. Witch doctor, I need information about Farukhan, the strongest man in the kingdom, and I believe you have it. What is it you seek? Asked the witch doctor. Everything has both strengths and weaknesses. Fire is subject to water. Even water dries up in the presence of a scorching sun. What is Farukhan's weakness? Surely he must have one. What is that thing that weakens him and makes him no different from the average man? The witch doctor looked at him suspiciously. Look, I will pay you handsomely. Just tell me what I have asked of you. The chief pressed on, showing the witch doctor bags of money. At the sight of the money, the witch doctor's eyes widened. Farukhan's strength comes from the spirit, but he has a weakness. Unkuku leaves, when burnt, release a smoke that strips him of his powers. These leaves can only be found in the heart of the rainforest. Nkuku lives in the rainforest? Great! Shouted Chief excitedly. The witch doctor looked at him intently, ready to continue. But Chief, eager and impatient, threw some money on the floor as payment and hastily left. The witch doctor looked ahead and said, "The feet of the wicked run eagerly to carry out wicked deeds. Though they may prevail, it is only for a short while." Back home, Chief was elated upon hearing that there was something that could take away Farukhan's strength. He boasted loudly about how he would finally destroy Farukhan and keep all Naima's wealth to himself. So Nkuku leaves, ordinary Nkuku leaves, are what can destroy such strong man. "Ha, Farukhan, I have got you. You are dead meat," laughed the chief. "I will summon 5 brave men to go to the heart of the rainforest to get the leaves. It is an arduous journey, but they will be paid well." After 3 days, the men returned with the Nkuku leaves, and Chief was pleased. To put his plan in motion, he decided to call a feast to honor Farukhan's victory during the challenges and celebrate his engagement to Naima. As the celebration went on, everyone was in high spirits. Food and drinks flowed freely. Farukhan was celebrated and Naima was congratulated. Later that night, the chief called Farukhan aside and said, "Farukhan, I have a small gift for you. Follow me." He led Farukhan to a chalet and asked him to sit down. As Farukhan sat, he began to feel weak. He struggled to get up, but he fell down. The more he struggled, the faster his strength waned. It wasn't long before he passed out. Meanwhile, Naima began to look for Farukhan. "Have you seen Farukhan?" she asked. No one seemed to know where he was. She searched everywhere for him and was getting worried. The chief approached her and said, "My daughter, what is the matter? Why do you look so worried?" "I have been looking for Farukhan. No one seems to know where he is." "Oh, I saw him walking to the chalet a while ago. You should go and check on him if you are worried," replied the chief. Naima proceeded to the chalet. She knocked and called out, "Farukhan, are you in there?" She opened the door. She couldn't believe her eyes. She saw Farukhan in a questionable position with a maiden. Farukhan was on the rug with barely any clothes on, entangled with another woman. "Farukhan, how could you betray me?" cried Naima. Farukhan, too weak to respond, could only mutter her name. Naima, please." Heartbroken and upset, Naima ran away. As she ran, the chief looked at her and smiled wickedly and satisfactorily. "Mission accomplished," he whispered to himself. Dear listeners, indeed, the love of money can make one do the most wicked things. Will this be the end of the love between Farukhan and Naima? Will Farukhan ever get his strength back, or will Chief's wicked plan be revealed? Watch out for the next part of this story. Until then, stay kind and stay blessed.